So we've just had an update releasing Glimpse into Rogue Company, and in this video we're going to be going over what are the 5 best rogues to be using after this update, because we did get some adjustments to current rogues as well, and we want to know what are the 5 best rogues you should be using at the moment. If you do enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers on this channel, and also click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our main channel as well. And if you do enjoy this content, don't forget to leave it a like as well. But as you can see, we've got a ton of rogues in this game. We did get adjustments to certain rogues as well, and I will point those out as we get through this video. But let's start off at number 5 with Glimpse herself. Now, the main ability for Glimpse is to be invisible, so you can run around whilst you're invisible for a short period of time, and it's going to be a really good character for pulling off flanks. Now, the reason why I still put this character at number 5 is because it has a lot of other really good parts about this character too. Now, the passive isn't the best in my opinion. You can see kind of the direction of enemy players if you are kind of behind a wall or if they're nearby, for example. Now, you could just use your audio because the audio in this game is really good, so I don't think it's really that important, but the camouflage part is super important if you're pulling off flanks. Now, the reason why I do say I put this character at number 5 on this list above a lot of other rogues that could be really popular is because you do get the option for assault rifles and SMGs, and not a lot of rogues actually have this option to have both assault rifles and SMGs. It's usually SMGs with like a marksman rifle or something weird like that, but this is a really good combination of weapons to have, so that's gonna be really popular. Plus the kind of 2 starting weapons are really good as well, and then obviously if you do have any of your own assault rifles or SMGs unlocked that you want to use, you can use them too. The secondary is actually pretty decent too, is the P12K. Now, obviously the Spitfire and the Salvo are probably the 2 most popular, and then obviously the revolver that Dallas has, but this is actually not a bad secondary at all, so you could definitely do well with it, and the Semtex is just super popular right now. Now, the new pop smoke grenade is actually something that's slightly new as well, so as soon as it impacts, it will pop the smoke. When it comes to perks, we've got a lot of really good perks here, and again, it's something you'd see with a lot of the kind of movement characters. So we've got Nimble Hands, which gives you faster reload and swap times. We've got Hunter, which you can see footprints, but the most important ones here, in my opinion, are padded steps to go along with that invisibility that you have. That's kind of hard to say. And then we've got Stalker, which is my personal favorite, Life Drain, which is really good as well. Tracker rounds is not really that important in my opinion, but again, you do have really good perks here as well, and that is why I do think this character is at number 5. At number 4, I'm going to have to put Saint. Now, I really do think Saint is a powerful character in my opinion, and the reason for that is having the ability to revive teammates without actually having to be near them is actually really powerful in this game. If you know how to use it correctly, then it can help your team in a lot of different scenarios, especially in game modes where you can't respawn. This is a super powerful character in my opinion. Now, of course, you get the revive drone, which allows you to send the medical drone to revive a down player, and then obviously you need to wait till it recharges. But on top of that, the passive ability is really good as well. So when you are reviving teammates kind of manually, you actually heal both yourself and your teammate at the same time, which is actually really cool to see. So the passive on Saint is actually really good too. When it comes to the armory and weapons, you do get assault rifles and you get DMRs. Now, some of the DMRs are actually pretty good, and I actually like the fact that DMRs are on Saint, because Saint's kind of more like a sit-back character that kind of supports the team. He's not really an aggressive player, but like I said, I do think it's actually really balanced the way they've done it. If you want to be a bit more aggressive, you can use something like the Nightshade or the Riptide if you do have it unlocked. Now, when it comes to perks, the perks aren't really the best on Saint. Now, the main ones I think are Bounce Back, Stalker, and Headstrong. Headstrong is going to give you additional armor, which is obviously very handy. Stalker is going to give you that faster movement, which you always want on all your characters if you do have it available. It's just going to allow you to be a lot more nimble when it comes to playing Rogue Company. And Bounce Back is going to reduce your health regeneration delay, which is absolutely long in this game for some reason. I don't know why, but definitely Saint is at number 4. At number 3, we've got Vi. Vi's one of the characters that actually got a buff with this update and is now probably one of the most powerful characters in the game in my opinion. The ability for Vile Poison, we all kind of know what it does. You throw the poison pool down, it can block off pathways, especially on objective-based game modes. That is really important. Also, it steals health from any players that are inside it as well, so that's really good to see that you can regen your health whilst enemies are in the poison pool. But now the passive ability is just extremely powerful, so if you deal damage with any of your weapons, you actually get a portion of the health back to you as well, and you can reach it up to 125 health, which is pretty ridiculous. So this character is now probably one of the best aggressive characters, especially for objective-based game modes, in the game right now, and that is why she's at number 3. Now, if you look at kind of the weapons as well here, we've got shotguns as well as assault rifles. Now, assault rifles are obviously very popular, probably the one I'd recommend the most. Now, if you do have the arbitrator shotgun, this gun is pretty ridiculously overpowered right now. It's pretty much a 2-shot kill, even when it's not even fully leveled up. So you've got a really powerful shotgun available if you do have it unlocked. And then when it comes to the assault rifles, most of them are pretty good anyway. Nightshade is probably the more aggressive side of assault rifles. When it comes to perks, the perks on Vi are not the best in my opinion. I'd say Evade and Bounce Back are probably the best too. Evade just allows you to kind of get out of a weird scenario. If you're kind of caught taking a lot of damage, you just want to escape. That's kind of what Evade's going to be helpful for. It increases your overall movement speed. And then Bounce Back is going to allow you to regen your health faster. Other than that, the rest are probably not all that useful other than Helping Hand if you do revive teammates a lot. But that's why Vi is at number 3, because the passive is absolutely ridiculous right now. At number 2, we have Umbra. Now, Umbra is a super powerful rogue in the game right now. A lot of people were using Umbra before, and that is because it was the new rogue, so everyone wanted to try it out. But now I do still think, even though it's not the newest rogue in the game, it's still really powerful to use Umbra. The passive ability is absolutely insane. If you get an assist or a down, you do get your full health back, which is absolutely ridiculous, and you're going to probably constantly get this if you're playing aggressively in any respawn-based game modes. And the spider is pretty much a free kill. You don't need to put yourself in any situation where you're likely to die. You can pretty much camp in a corner, use a spider, get 1 free kill, and that is basically what the spider is for. Now, obviously, you can use it for objective-based game modes as well, which is really good, especially if a lot of players are camping on the flags. Then you can use this as well. So like I said, you're not really putting yourself in a situation where you might die. Now, when it comes to the weapons and stuff, again, I think the weapons are pretty balanced for Umbra here. You do get a couple of different options. So you can either sit back and be the sit back kind of character with the DMRs, and you're going to be dealing a lot of damage at range. And if you do like to use the spider and just kind of sit in a corner and use it less aggressively, you can do that from one of the more objective-based game modes. But if you like to be aggressive, then you do have the SMGs available as well, and the LMPX is actually probably one of my favorite SMGs in the game right now, especially kind of more of a hybrid SMG AR type of gun, especially when you've got it leveled up. It's actually got a lot of low recoil, so it's very easy to use as well. So solid options when it comes to weapons as well overall for Umbra. And then when it comes to the perks, you do have Stalker there, you've got Life Drain as well, you've got Berserker, so you've got a lot of the really good perks on Umbra too, especially Hunter. Padded Steps is good too, so you've got really good perks here, and that is why Umbra is at number 2. At number 1, and probably my personal favourite, is Chaac. I've been using Chaac for a long time in this game, and if you can't see obviously my progression, I usually play on PlayStation. I'm recording this on PC, and unfortunately my progress doesn't track on both for some reason. I've got more progress on my PlayStation than I do have on the PC, so it's just so you're aware of that. But when it comes to Chaac, having the ability to revive yourself is absolutely insane. Overhealing yourself is something I don't really use all that often when it comes to Chaac, to be perfectly honest, because I'd rather have the ability to revive myself. And then the passive ability to basically roll whilst you're downed is absolutely insane, because you can even dodge, even if you don't have your ability. If you're able to dodge enemy players finishing you off whilst you're down, you can get a Saint to revive you, you can get other players to revive you, get yourself in a better position to get res, so you're more likely to stay alive as Chaac than pretty much any other character in the game. So if you do like to play very aggressively, then Chaac is probably the best option, because you do have the ability to bring yourself back into the game. On top of that, when it comes to weapons, you've got my personal favorite SMG, which is the D40. This is just probably the most aggressive gun when it comes to fully automatic SMGs in the game. Kills super quick if you land all your shots, but you also do have shotguns as well, and the arbitrator is actually ridiculously overpowered, like I said. So you've got the best aggressive weapons in the game as well when it comes to Chaac. So like I said, you've got some really good options here if you do like any other SMGs, and you can use those too. But personally, if I was to use Chaac, my personal favorite weapon is the D40C or the arbitrator shotgun. Then you do also have the Spitfire. Now when it comes to secondary weapons, the Spitfire and the Salvo are the best two by far. So you do have that. You've also got flashbangs, which aren't really the best, but you can use them to get yourself out of certain scenarios. And then also Semtexes are super popular, like I said before. Very, very useful to use Semtexes in this game. And then when it comes to perks overall, again, you've got some really good options here. You've got Life Drain and Stalker, which are probably the best two. Berserker is also really good as well. And you also have Helping Hand on Chaac too. So I do want to quickly mention before we wrap up this video that Sigrid did also get a buff as well. So the shield, the ballistic shield that blocks incoming fire, actually got enlarged, so actually doesn't allow the bullets to get through the edges nearly as much as it did before. So it's definitely a good buff to this character overall. I do just think things like the passive aren't really that good in my opinion. Moving faster whilst crouched is okay, but I mean, it's not really going to be something you really use a lot in this game. And there is obviously a lot of other really valuable rogues in this game, and overall it is just very balanced in my opinion. But that is the 5 best rogues inside Rogue Company right now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and also leave a like, and thank you very much for watching.